Welcome to another episode of A Word with Joy. I am so glad to have you here with us. My name is Joy Bennett, your producer and host. Today we have a very special lady with us, Kaci Hamilton. Kaci is an actress, a writer, a voiceover artist. She's a world traveler, and she happens to be, through the miracle of the internet, one of my neighbors. She happens just to be not, half a mile from here. So in Santa Monica. So we're very welcome Kaci. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Joy. It's lovely to be here.
And Kaci she's also a podcaster, so we have that in common. She does this wonderful bedtime podcast called Jamaican Me Sleepy, and it's a wonderful podcast for adults, children, anybody that it's beautiful to listen to. But if you have trouble sleeping, you just find Jamaican Me Sleepy, and Kaci will lure you into a wonderful night's sleep. So thank you for that. Kaci, I am just welcoming you back to our area. I know you've been in Italy.
Yes.
And how was that?
It was absolutely incredible. When you go on vacation, everybody always says, "Oh, I didn't want to leave." We really didn't want to leave. It was just delicious. We were in Naples and Capri and the Amalfi Coast, my husband and I, and we just had the most amazing time. We had no agenda, no prescriptive plan of where we were going to go or what we were going to do, and we just took it day by day and ate pasta and drank wine and took in the sights and took a boat ride and just really relaxed and checked out.
That sounds wonderful. I was in Italy 2 years ago now. I think it was two years. And it's an amazing place.
It really is.
I mean, I even tried to speak Italian over there, which was okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just touring the Vatican. Oh, looking at it's just, if you can get over to Europe, do so.
The art and the history, there's nothing like it.
Trevi Fountain and all the beautiful museums and and then we went to Spain and Ireland. My daughter and I traveled last a year and 2 years ago, and it was just wonderful. So after being cooped up at home for the pandemic, it was a wonderful thing to do. Kaci, you are a poet as well, which is a soft spot in my heart because I'm a poet also. She has a master's in poetry from Hunter College. So this is the other thing, that you've made that huge transition. You were born and raised in Jamaica, and then you went to the University of Alaska in Juneau for your bachelor's in English. Tell us a little bit about that transition.
So that was actually one of the best experiences of my life. I was in Jamaica applying to U.S. colleges because I wanted the U.S. college experience, but I wasn't having any success with the schools I was applying to. I got rejected and waitlisted. And so I started to think about, what are
these are really top, very competitive schools.
Yes, so. City University, Fordham in New York. And so I started to think about schools outside of the continental U.S., but that were still technically in the U.S. And that really left Alaska, Hawaii, Guam, and Puerto Rico. And so I eliminated the last three because they were either too far or too similar to Jamaica. And then that left Alaska. Just thought, that's going to be something really different. And the way Alaska's school system is set up, because there's so many remote parts, they have these kind of outlier campuses where you can take courses and they all go towards the University of Alaska system. Because, you have the North Slope and the Aleutian Islands and all these places where people may not be able to leave to get to Fairbanks or Juneau or Anchorage. So I found a campus in Valdez on the Prince William Sound. I'm sure you've heard of the Exxon Valdez oil spill. That's where that happened. And they didn't require SATs. It was pretty much like, if you can fill out this application, you can come. So I filled that out, got in, took all my prerequisites, and then transferred to Juneau and finished there and got a bachelor's degree in English literature.
That's fantastic. I love Alaska. We went on some cruises so up there. You feel so small because you look at those mountains and the sea, and you feel just like a little tiny dot. It's like, what are you worried about? You're nothing. You're
exactly. That is so
I
true.
love
That's
it.
exactly the thing that I felt. It's so humbling, and you just realize that you are insignificant in the face of nature, truly.
It is. It is. It's a
Yes,
beautiful place. If you ever have a chance to take a cruise up there or a trip, definitely,
yes.
definitely look
It's
into
it's
that. It's beautiful
bucket
and
list.
very kind people too.
Yes,
Very, very nice
absolutely.
people. We had some fun times up there. Um, the current projects. What are you working on right now? I know you're busy with so many different aspects of writing and art and acting.
Yes, absolutely. So, right, I went to school for writing and worked as a writer and a journalist for some time, and then I got laid off from a travel magazine. That was such a dream job. I was working for a Caribbean travel magazine, going all over the Caribbean, staying in luxury hotels. It was really incredible. But then the magazine folded, and I could not find a writing job to save my life. So I thought about reinvention and I went to acting school. I didn't want to wake up at 60 not having gone after this other dream I'd had.
Mhm.
So I went to acting school, moved I was in Florida at the time, moved back to New York, went to acting school, and that was about 9 years ago. So they say after the 10-year mark is when you become an overnight success. So I think I'm poised for overnight success any minute now. So there's been the strikes in Hollywood and the pandemic, so a lot of things have shifted, streaming, different studio acquisitions. So there's a lot of movement and fluctuation in the industry. So I'm auditioning, but I started writing a comedy
Oh,
pilot during the pandemic.
great.
And yes, I've been working on it like actively for 4 years.
Wow.
And I'm double digit drafts in, and but
Oh,
it's gotten into a couple labs. It's been a finalist for a couple fellowships, and it's currently a finalist for another fellowship. I won't disclose too many details. I don't want to jinx it, but
mhm.
I'm awaiting word. Fingers crossed. It would actually put
Good.
me in a writer's room, so that would be really incredible.
That would be great.
Yes, I'm just trying to move that around. It's about going to school in Alaska and all the stories
Mhm.
from that time and the
That
novelty of a
sounds
Jamaican
great.
in Alaska. So,
I would watch that. I
right? I every
would
time I tell people
definitely.
that I went to school in
Now, if
Alaska, they say that's a TV show. So I figured,
yeah,
why not write it?
definitely. I mean, that's the thing. If you're a writer, you have that power. You don't have to
Yes,
wait for someone to hand you a script or to hand you a book or hand. You have that power to keep yourself going, which is great.
exactly. And
Um,
that's
would
what
you
I
pay
thought
for
during the
yourself
pandemic.
if it got produced, or you
Pardon
get
me?
a if it was picked up? Would you play yourself or have someone act
Oh
for you?
no, absolutely. I'd play myself. That's the whole goal.
Oh,
I wrote it so that I could be in it. Um,
good.
yes. But I mean, and I'm writing some other things. I wrote a feature that I'm also working on. I have another concept that I'm fleshing out and I'm going to start working on. So the goal is definitely to continue in the industry, both as an actor and a writer, and hopefully one day with my own production company, I'll be able to open that up to other voices and elevate
That's great.
other um, underrepresented writers as well.
That sounds fantastic. That sounds fantastic. Yes. Well, in my eyes, you already are a success because you've done all kinds of things, you know,
Thank you.
theater, Shakespearean trained actress, voiceover, podcaster, published writer, a master's in poetry. So think of yourself as I'm already a success. I'm just going on another project.
Thank you.
I
Thank
give
you.
you that
I will
blessing because
definitely remember that.
you're quite intimidating, to tell you the truth. Here I am going, oh,
Oh,
I
oh.
thought, well, I'm sure she's a nice person, but anyway, what is your absolute favorite art form to do? I know it's hard to pick, but if you had your choice between writing, acting, voiceover, just
Oh
poetry,
man.
what would be your
You
favorite?
know, I recently thought about this and I was kind of surprised by the answer, but say I was on a desert island and I could only do one. I think I would I think I would write. I think that is the thing that always been I remember I wrote my first short story when I was about 12. And so it's always been this thing that has been a part of me and that I've been good at and that I've been acknowledged for. I
That's
always
great.
got excellent grades in English.
Yeah,
I've always been writing. And
that's an
the
excellent thing to
performance,
have in life. It really
I
is.
think so. Yeah.
Writing has saved my neck so many times. It's how I got through UCLA.
Wow.
It was not my chemistry grades, I'll tell you that.
Yes.
But you can write.
Same.
There's so many things you can get into and just explore, and it's a wonderful blessing. It really is.
Yeah. Thank you.
What about the working with others? Are you comfortable in a group, or are you kind of a loner, or do you like to have a bunch of people with you? I tend to kind of do my own thing and just, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to get these people in if I need it. But like even with this podcast, I had to figure out how to do the production, the marketing. But it's like, that's where my comfort zone is. I'm not
Yes.
someone that's hands off. I don't like to, What about you? Are you similar, or are you group?
I can really do both. I mean, I am very independent, and the Leo in me likes to take charge.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy collaboration because I
Mm-hmm.
know I don't have all the answers, and I know that, several heads are better than one. But I can easily just sit down, focus, and get things done by myself. I don't need a group to kind of rally the forces. Um, but yeah, but I'm not opposed to help. So I think, I definitely say both, but I'm kind of, I can take charge. So I might say I'm more of a lone wolf then.
But you don't mind being the boss.
Yeah, I don't mind being the boss. I don't
I
mind being
get that.
alone. Yeah, I
Would
don't
you
mind not
direct?
having the group.
Do you have any aspirations for directing if the future?
That's funny. I'm not at this time, because I know what I know and I know what I don't know, and
Mm-hmm.
I do have visions for how I see things, but it's not the thing that calls to me the most in filmmaking. Funny enough, I'm actually really into cinematography because I used to be
Mm-hmm.
a photographer. When I was in Jamaica working as a freelancer, I also did photography to accompany my work sometimes.
Uh-huh.
And I took photography classes and studied some photography. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of the creating of an image in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that but I know that's like a whole other degree and learning process, but that calls to me more than directing.
Yeah, it seems like whenever these big actors and actresses get to a certain level, then their next thing is, okay, I want to direct. And some of them do a good job of
Yes.
making that transition. Um, uh, there's a new movie out now. It's called, what's that one? Zoe Saldana.
Zoe
Um,
Kravitz.
yeah,
You
that's it.
thinking?
Lenny
Yeah.
Kravitz's daughter. She
Yes.
did a great job. That was a good movie.
Oh, don't tell me too much. Don't
Scary.
give me any
I won't. I
spoilers.
won't. What's the
Okay.
name of it though? I forgot.
Blink twice.
Blink Twice. Yeah,
Right.
that was really good.
It
And
looks
considering
good.
it was her first feature
Yeah.
and directing job, I was very impressed. I was very impressed.
The thing about directing is that while you are the person on set that everybody is coming to with all of their questions, like,
Mm,
do you like this outfit? How about this camera angle? What about, do you want it to be a tracking shot, a handheld? Like,
yeah.
every department is asking you for the final sign off.
Mm,
Some people find that extremely overwhelming, but I also think the craft of it is having the people around you to support you in that way, where they either know what you like, so they cut
mhm.
out some of that, so they kind of make a shorthand for some of that, all of those questions and a lot of that collaboration,
Yeah.
or you create an environment where your vision is so clear that people kind of already have the answer. I
Mhm.
mean, I could be wrong, but I
No, I think
think,
you're right.
yeah, because the balance of everybody needing your sign off and you giving it while also still giving your actors what they need, keeping the budget going, keeping the filming production schedule
It's a
on
lot of
time.
plates in
It's a
the air,
lot. It's a lot of
a
things
lot
to
of
spin.
detail.
And so I think it's all about who you curate to be a part of that team can
Yeah.
really make that process way smoother. You
And you
know,
can see why some directors use the same team over and over and over
exactly. I
for
was
many
just about
years.
to say,
And I'm sure it gets easier and easier as they go on.
yeah.
Oh, he doesn't like that. He wants this, or she doesn't like that. Let's go with this one.
There's
You know.
a cinematographer that works with Wes Anderson, and he's
Uh-huh.
done almost all of his films. And you
Yeah.
just know that by the time he gets on set,
Yeah.
they don't have to say too much.
Yeah.
He can just say, "Remember that thing you did on
Yeah.
Royal Tenenbaums? Do it again." And then it's
And he's
done.
got
As
such a
opposed to,
unique he's got such a unique style. I love Wes Anderson.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But you can see how he almost would have to have a group that
Yeah.
kind of almost read his mind.
Yes.
You know, his
He
style
can't
is very
explain that anew to a new crew every film.
yeah,
That would take forever.
it'd be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have enough time just keeping my life going with my paying the bills and taking care of the pets. And I have a
Right.
writing project now. I have a podcast. I can't imagine directing. I mean, you basically have to stop your real life and turn could be several weeks, could be a year over to that. I mean, it's a tremendous, you know, artistic and emotional endeavor to direct. I don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I tried to take an acting class once. I'm not an actor. Believe it or not, I'm kind of shy. It did help though, and I advise other people who are quite shy, take an acting class. It gets you out of yourself. It's like,
Yes.
what are you thinking about? You're thinking about yourself. That's not going to get you anywhere in this life.
No.
Think about the other person. What do they want to do? What are they thinking? What are they feeling? And it helps you get out of your own head. So I think acting classes are good for anyone, even if you're not an aspiring actor, just to do it, just to have it. It did definitely help me because I was very shy in high school. I could barely get a peep out. It's just like ridiculous.
Oh, wow.
But now I can happily say I'm very comfortable. I don't call myself an actor, but if I have to make a speech, okay, I can do this. I know. I went to Toastmasters too, which was fun.
Oh.
It was fun. It did help. It's like they have a very you get to practice speaking a lot. So by the time you're done with the year of Toastmasters, however long you last, it's not a big deal to make a speech, to write, your notes and all that. So it's all good stuff. Learning whatever you're interested in learning, go out and do it because it will make you a better person.
Absolutely. I fully agree with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. What about for your other interests? I mean, do you have children in your life? Do you have other hobbies, or you're pretty much focused on your art and your...
Yeah, no kids, pretty much, and no pets, no doggies to take care of. I'm pretty much career focused right now because I got to LA in 2019 with the whole goal of getting into television and film. And, between the pandemic and the strikes, it's felt like I've lost 3 out of 5 years. So right now I'm just really committed to getting this pilot seen, made, bought, sold, and yeah, and making further inroads into Hollywood and getting on the screen. I mean, I do love concerts and art and movies and walks on the beach. So I feel like my husband and I have finally figured out where we like in LA, and we love Santa Monica. It feels like the best of what LA has to
I
offer.
like it here too.
Yeah, it's cooler.
Although there's issues, they have some problems too.
Yeah, nowhere is perfect. Italy had problems too.
Yeah, that's it.
But yeah, so we're both just on a commitment to, kind of advancing our careers as hard and fast as we can, and then we'll see where that lands us in a couple of years, and then we take it from there.
What is your husband? Is he in the industry too, or?
No, he is actually in business and real estate and operations. So he's completely on a different track, but he's extremely supportive, and he studied art in college, so he understands the artist's journey, and
that's great.
But it's wonderful having somebody who does something different because we can teach each other things and share different aspects of our career.
I think it's good to have that balance. I really do. My husband's a photographer and business consultant, has a project he's working on with high-end transfer of photo images, and I help him on that. And that's kind of a different thing for me, but it's fun to do because it's like always challenging. And it's a challenge to put on my business thinking cap.
Yes.
It's like, okay, are you going to, how much are we going to put in this, and have you done that, and you have to make sure you get this done, and so it's kind of fun to have those challenges. Although
for sure,
it's never easy.
No, never easy for
it's
sure.
It's good to know when to hand things off. Like I started his website, and then he has this real whiz graphics guy and web design. I mean, just incredible. So I turned it over to him. I was like, phew, that's good. And he's got a beautiful website for his business. And, but it's nice to know there's help out there if you need it. It's like, I'm not a CPA. I don't like, I can do bookkeeping and kind of get the bills paid and stuff, but I have someone that helps us do all the tax prep and all. It's like, that's not my thing.
Yes, no.
Thank God there are people that are whizzes at it. Thank God.
And math and science, no, not a combo. Yeah. I'm definitely an artist.
Yeah. So I have people to help with this and help with that. And, somehow it all works out. You have to just keep all the plates spinning, as I say.
Yes, exactly.
Well, any last thoughts that you'd like to point out, or things or questions you have, or
what's your background?
I'm basically a UCLA graduate, and I have a background in business writing and podcasting. And I've done the podcast. I had a previous podcast, but this one I've done since 2019. And
nice.
I also have writing projects going on. My latest one is to put a collection of short stories together. I have them written, but I just have to stitch them together, pick them, get them into the format for the, public, all that. So it's like, you can do this. It's like, just get up a little earlier and get it done. And I love the trying to explore new things with the internet, just, my website. I just love it,
Yeah.
But it is a challenge to keep that balance, because I know people that I talked to one writer on here, and she said, well, I could go for 12 hours and just keep writing. And I know that it calls you. I'm like, you can't. You have to keep your puppy fed and keep your own self fed and keep the, mail answered. So it's always a challenge to keep everything balanced. But, I don't have to watch TV.
Yes.
About that. I don't have to scroll Instagram for hours. There's things that you do that you can skip, but, and I really love, just supporting other artists. That's, I think, my calling. I think it's great that we have to be there for each other. So many people have helped me when I'm like, you know what? I don't know. And like, no, this is really good. And I'm like, that kind of picks you up. Even if you get one like on a post or something, it kind of makes your day. It really,
it really does. And I like that you want to support other artists. That's a very noble effort. And it's true. We have to lift each other up as we go along and bring each other.
It is. And it all comes back to you too. Because I've gotten so many guests being interested on being on this podcast. And like, I used to figure, I'll do it once every 2 weeks. Now it's a weekly taping schedule. I've got a list of people that wanted to be on, and which is great. And so it's been a real good project, and starting to get more of an audience too.
Amazing.
So it's fun.
Well, I'm currently working on not so much a relaunch, but I've paused taping episodes of Jamaican Me Sleepy, so that's something I want to pick back up. I've just been trying to figure out. Yes, I've just been trying to figure out the balance of taping, promotion, because I initially did everything: recording, mixing, Instagram, social media, like all of the things, and it's time consuming. And so, I'm now thinking I need some resources, a little help.
There's probably people out there, because your podcast is so polished. I bet you could get someone interested and just say, here's my project. I need help with, the administrative, whatever. It's worth a shot.
Yes.
I have to like doing my little thing, but you're a pro. You could I'm sure get somebody interested. So think about that.
Absolutely.
It's a very polished piece. It really is.
Thank you. That's definitely something I'm working on.
What platform did you use?
I use Buzzsprout.
What was it?
Buzzsprout.
Buzzsprout. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a hosting platform. I would use Pro Tools.
Buzzsprout.
Yes.
Buzzsprout I have heard of, yeah.
Yeah. I use Pro Tools to record it and mix it, but Buzzsprout was where it's hosted. But yeah. So that's a project that I'm going to be working on in the fall, and then just continued writing and auditioning, and hopefully I'll be on your big screen soon.
Definitely.
Yes.
Well, I wish you buckets of success and happiness, and especially in your not so new marriage, but recent marriage.
Yes.
And I have to wrap up pretty soon. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you to Kaci for being here with us today. Neighbor. So funny. Let me just make sure I don't have any other questions. I think that's it. For more information about Kaci, you can look her up on the Internet Movie Database. That's imdb.com. Just look for Kaci Hamilton, and you'll see her background and credits and all that on there. And she's also on Instagram. It's called what's it called? The Sweet Bacon on Instagram. That's Kaci's Instagram page. She posts on there frequently. And this is Joy Bennett, the producer and host. You can find more information about me at joybennett.com. And there's a podcast website, awordwithjoy.com, just for the podcast. And I'm also on, different places, Medium and things like that. But you can find it all through joybennett.com. That's the main route. You can contact me through the website there. And if you have any questions or comments, please let us know. Like and follow and subscribe to the podcast. We really appreciate your listening and your support. And if you are interested in being a guest on the podcast, please let me know. We're always looking for good guests. And basically, carry on. I'm sure you'll have much success, Kaci. I really appreciate your time. And let's get together for coffee sometime or lunch.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate it.
Much. Yeah, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
Take care. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.